Alright, we're going to have a look at these knives from Mora in Sweden. So it's Morakniv. Kniv is Swedish for knife. So these are all very similar knives. I saw them, I was reading an article and I was watching a YouTuber, gosh, I'll remember his name, sorry. And he was showing different knives. He was talking about this one for 13 bucks, and it's a good knife for kids, for Cub and Scout age. So it's basically, they have one called the Companion. This isn't called the Companion, but it's almost identical. This is the basic 511, you can see right there. Their sheaths are all the same. These are 5 different models of knife. There's 2 basic styles that I have. There's also other styles. So this is their very low end style. The handles all look the same. You can get them in different colors. The big differences are the thickness of the blade, the breadth of the blade down in this direction where my thumb is wiggling down here. And you can also get almost all of their knives. This is the cool thing I like about them. They almost all have an option for either stainless steel or carbon steel. These are carbon steel and they're plated with something which is kind of weird, and you can see a lot of machining on the back of these blades still, all of them. But hey, for 13 bucks, wow, that is an amazing knife. I'm still not used to these kind of plastic sheaths that are so common these days, but they do have holes in the end to provide drainage if water should get in there. They do all fit well. These 4 all have identical sheaths, so they're completely interchangeable, which is cool. This is the different series, and it's also a heavier duty knife, and it has a different sheath system that isn't as readily compatible with the other one. But another difference here in the different types of blade, this low end one has a kind of a hard plastic. Both the yellow and the black is a hard plastic. Same thing with this one. All the full color of blue is a hard plastic. These guys, these next 2 and that one, have this black is kind of a rubbery substance, and it's supposed to be, according to Mora, is supposed to be next to indestructible. So and the big thing with the hard plastic grip, you might consider it a little bit slippery. I don't know. It's definitely not as good of a grip. This gives you a really good, that rubberized compound on there gives you a really good grip on that knife. So for the extra couple of bucks for the rubberized grip, I definitely recommend that you go for it. I don't know, and as I mentioned, all of these knives are basically the same. They have big finger grips or finger wells or finger holes or whatever you want to call them on the front end of the knife, and on the back end they don't, specifically to allow you to get at the back of that knife. It's not completely symmetrical. Using it backwards, if you had to pull towards yourself for something, it's very close to symmetrical, but obviously the thumb, the finger holes are on the opposite side, but that is very comfortable to work in the reverse direction if I had to do that. So all of these guys are that basic style. This is a little bit different handle design, but it still feels like it would be okay working in either direction if I had to. It's got not quite as much as a protection here against your finger. This is what everyone's worried about, is your finger sliding down there when you're pushing or doing something with your knife. So that has a bit of protection, but ironically it's the higher end, but it doesn't have as much protection as this lower end model. So this, all 5 of them, they range from about 13 bucks I think to 25 bucks and everything in between. And really, like I said, the only variances are, let's get them all out here. Hold on, get that guy out. The only variances are blade size. You can see here this one is a lot broader. There we go. So here they are laid out a bit differently, and honestly, for the price, given the fact that I paid 100 bucks plus tax and shipping, I think it was 120 or something like that for all 5 of these. That's amazing. These are good quality, I can tell. They get really good reviews online. None of these, even this higher end one, is not a full tang. So you can see some of the inner profiles you can find on their website. It doesn't show one for one what they look like, but you can see a couple of ones. They're like about 1/3 of the width of that, and the steel goes down really far, so they should be pretty firm. They also make a line starting around $100 of a real backwoods outdoorsman knife with a full tang on it, and kind of like this part on this knob on the end is made out of steel from the tang. So what is a full tang? A full tang means that you can see on this guy, this is my kitchen knife, you can see that the steel goes right to the very end of the knife, and it even takes up the full breadth of the handle. Full tang are considered to be the best kind of knife you can get. These guys are not full tang, as I was saying. You can find the patterns online, and you can see that the tang does go down most of the way in the handle here, and it's about 1/3 of that breadth, and it's got a couple of holes in it to hold it in place. And they do have a line of knives that are full tang, but these particular ones are not. But for the price, they are still very highly rated, and I'll see once I get them in use how they perform. So I look forward to trying them yet. This is just kind of an unboxing, but so the ones we have here are the Pro C. Is that one, I think. The basic 546. Which probably is that one. I'm not sure. Robust, whatever that is. This one is obvious, so the basic 511. This is the cheapest one, and you can buy these in about 16 different colors, and I just happened to buy the yellow one, but they come in all different colors. So I recommend you at least have a close look at them as I give them some wear and tear. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, sorry. These sheaths fit together in a strange sort of way. That fits on there, and I can't show you one-handed, but I will show you after it's hitched. So there you can see hitched, and that's really, really sturdy. Those aren't going anywhere. Though you could carry for the weight ways, you could carry 5 of those down your leg if you had to, 5 different ones. They'd have to be very different from these, because any one of these 4 are basically interchangeable for your day-to-day use. This is a slightly different class of knife, and it is a bigger blade, although you can see this one is almost as big. So yeah, definitely worth having a look at Morakniv. Mora knives out of Sweden. Even their plastic things say they're made in Sweden, so you know, why isn't Grohmann Knives here in Canada doing something like this in addition to their high-end line that are really, really well known and awesome. Oh yes, and one thing really quickly, the surprise only left till the last. These things are amazingly sharp right out of the package. That is, I could almost shave with that. I'm just nicking it there. And also, in addition to, we mentioned on the spine, there was a lot of machining obvious down the whole bevel on this guy here. Don't know if this phone will show it or not. Yeah, there you can kind of see the reflections. There's a lot of lines going this way from the machining, but holy crow, those look like really good knives for the price that I paid for them.